Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, citizens of all ages, welcome back to another anniversary special Star Citizen video. Ugh, excuse me. So, in keeping with the motif, let's move right along. November 30th, MISC, Musashi Industrial and Starlight Concern. So, MISC is fucking awesome. MISC is actually one of my favorite manufacturers. If you've seen my videos or any of my videos on my channel, you know I am quite privy to the first ship on the list here, the Starfarer. Well, technically, I'm actually really privy to the Starfarer Gemini, which is sort of technically supposed to be from Aegis, even though it's got MISC branding all the fuck over it. Whatever. Yeah. So, sorry, I'm feeling a little silly today. The Starfarer. The Starfarer differs from traditional bulk freighters in one key way. It's a dedicated fuel platform. The Starfarer is designed not only to load, store, and protect fuel stasis units, it is designed to take in spaceborne gases and refine them for use without landing. Now that is going to be a huge moneymaker. Like right there, I'm only halfway through its fucking description, and already, if you don't own one of these and you have the money to spend and you want to pledge and back this project to this degree, get yourself a Starfarer. They're so good. Yeah, they're a little slow. They're a little space turtle-y, space whale-y, but good goddamn, for what you get for them, they're awesome. They're basically like bases. All right, let me. And while it excels at this, the Starfarer can also be used to ferry traditional bulk cargo pods. The listed cargo capacity is only for the dedicated cargo room and does not account for the extra space available from the bulk cargo pods. Now, let's get into what that means straight off the bat. If you want to make buku bucks in Star Citizen, the Starfarer is the way to do it. So not only can it fly around, suck in gaseous fuels, and refine them into usable fuels, you'll be able to store them in the giant-ass tanks that the Starfarer has on there. Let's see if we have a good picture. Here we go. These giant-ass fucking tanks, which are huge. Let's see if there's a picture. Oh, that's not even loaded. That's cool. I was trying to find a picture that had a person in frame, but I can't, so I guess, just take my word for it. They're fucking huge. That in and of itself is something that makes this ship amazing. You're going to be able to carry so much fuel and make so much money off of it that, I can't stress this enough. Not to mention the fact that this has 4 size 4 guns strapped to the side of it that the pilot controls. This thing has some deadly firepower. So you're not just out there and, neutered. You've got real capacity to make money, do missions, run cargo, fight. Although, granted, it's not a fighter, you could definitely lay down some hurt. Granted, it's not as maneuverable as some ships, but tankers aren't going to be maneuverable. In conjunction, these giant fuel tanks can actually be swapped out for dry cargo pods. That's what it was kind of touching on over here. So not only do you have the giant cargo bay, I know there was a picture of it. So right there, just for the sake of, let me try to zoom in a bit. All right. Look there's a person. That is all cargo capacity. Not taking into account the giant fuel tanks, which could be swapped out for more cargo. What? This is, in my opinion, probably one of the better malleable ships. Role malleable ships. In that it's not just a fuel tanker. It's not just a cargo hauler. It's both. It can be a base. It's got 7 beds, so you and 6 of your buddies crew up. You know, you got the pilot, co-pilot, captain, 2 support seats, and 3 turrets, 3-man turrets. That's 8 positions, 7 beds. I mean, this thing. Oh, and did I fucking mention this thing has crawl spaces, so you could stash shit all around. I mean, if you haven't seen the videos where I'm wandering around my Starfarer, you have to. I mean, this thing is gigantic. It's got escape pods dotted all about the place. I mean, in my opinion, I guess this is my favorite ship of the game currently so far. Actually, yeah, I just came to that realization. This is my favorite ship. This thing is just so badass. I mean, straight up, balls down, awesome. Balls down? What the fuck? That just came out. I didn't mean to say that. It makes no sense. So like I was saying, look at this thing has 4. Count them. 4 size 4 ballistic cannons strapped to the sides of the pilot thing, the deck, bridge. Yeah, there. Not to mention the fuel scoop that's in the front supposedly will be able to be swapped out for the missile mount that actually comes on the Gemini. So you'll be able to do one or the other, and you're not just strapped down. Again, personally, though, in my opinion, I would kind of rather the Gemini, just because it's got a little bit better armor. But that's for the Aegis video that was back, but I don't even think I... Did I touch on that? Shit. Probably not. I don't think I did. Oh, well. So, man, that went off on a bunch of tangents. Let me make sure I actually touched on everything I wanted to. Yeah. So the Starfarer is really, really cool. I highly suggest it, if, like I said, if you've got the money. Like, here's a picture of some of the beds. It does have, and the cool thing, it's got 2 bathrooms. It's got a woman's room and a men's room. And then this is the main turret, which I believe has 2 size 4s strapped to it as well, which I believe they were the M.I.S.C laser repeaters. So, you know, not terrible. Engine room, or one of the engines. And then this is the captain's quarters. And right back here is actually the captain's bed. It's right there. It's a really neat setup. In fact, here it is. And look at the space blankie. That in and of itself makes this ship worth it. Just having this space blankie. I mean, look at that. That's adorable. I kind of like the brushed aluminum, but not as much as I like the olive drab green on the Gemini. They did edit this a little bit in 3.0. It looks a lot better. It's not just like the... I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's not just like straight chrome. I really dig it. And one of these pictures shows... Here it is. It's a little fucked up. Let me see if I can down... There we go. Okay. So, these are the dry good cargo pods. And as you see, look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Got about at least 6 of them. So now, not only do you have these 6 external pods, but then you got the giant internal cargo space. I mean, this thing is the bee's knees. I mean, straight up. Fucking awesome. So like I said, in my opinion, my humble opinion, Starfarer is badass. If you want to get yourself a Starfarer, they run for, I believe, $300. I take it back. So the regular Starfarer is only $300, but the Gemini is $340. Now again, the Gemini, which is technically Aegis, even though it says MISC when it's not. Better armor, better shields, better engines. I mean, just better. Again, though, this does not come by default with the fuel scoop. This one does, but this one does not come default with the missile rack, where this one does. So, depending on your playstyle, depending on what you want, and given the current state of 3.0 PTU, which is what I'm going off of, I prefer the Gemini, but I'm pretty certain the fuel mechanics will be coming online, hopefully relatively soon. And I mean relatively in the grander scheme. So 300, net yourself one of these beautiful baby bastards here. It's a beautiful bastard. It's my baby. I love it. And if you don't, well, fuck you. I was a little aggressive. I apologize. No, I don't. Yes, I do. All right. Moving right along, the Hull E. Now, speaking of cargo, this is the fucking king of cargo right here. The Hull E is something that is no, I mean, it's just fucking nuts. This thing has so much cargo capacity. Let's jump right into it. The largest specialized freighter available on the market today, the Hull E is generally owned by major corporations and operated with a high degree of planning. The lack of maneuverability inherent in such a large ship means that anyone planning to operate them should be careful about equipping turrets and providing support. The potential load and modularity is unparalleled. However, no other ship allows as much room to store goods or to modify towards another role. Now, full disclosure, I basically don't know dick about the Hull series. I know that they're freighters, they're dedicated freighters, okay? So their firepower is going to be shit, shielding is probably going to be shit, armor, say it with me, probably going to be shit. Alright, you get a cookie. So this is basically, you'll be able to make a ton of money with the amount of shipping, but it's going to have some huge costs. I mean, you're going to need escorts, you're going to need, crew members. From my understanding, you're not going to be able to run a Hull E solo, okay? So this is the Hull E. I mean, look at the amount of cargo this damn thing holds. I mean, it's impressive. I got to give credit where credit is due. I hope this has the scale of a person. I usually do, but it doesn't look like it. So it looks like those will probably, I would have to assume, going to be probably size 3 or size 4 weapons. So a person, I would have to guess, would either be about as tall as this strut or maybe about as tall as this one. I feel probably maybe in the middle, so let's just call it this strut just for argument's sake. Look at the size of that, huh? It's going to be nuts. Now, not saying that this thing is going to be completely defenseless, excuse me, but it's definitely going to pay to have an escort. Alright, that was a bad joke. The Hull E. Now, I think the only Hull. Actually, I don't even think the Hull A is in, so I take that back. The hulls are currently not in the game as far as I'm aware. So a lot of this is kind of still up for speculation. But if you're the type where you want to be a career cargo hauler and you plan on, doing nothing but that, or you have an organization dedicated to that, the Hull E might be something you want to look into. Now, if this picture, tells us anything, you might even be able to make money doing advertising on the side, although that could just be a concept, having actually nothing really to do. But again, I mean, just look at the sheer amount of cargo this thing has. I mean, god damn, that would blow away a caterpillar completely. With 3.0 in PTU, I actually filled one of the cargo bays in the cat, and holy shit, it was a lot of cargo. I spent 100,000 AUEC, and I only filled up one of the, 5 bays? So, I forgot where I was trying to go with that. I apologize, but basically this is the king o cargo hauling. So if that's something that you want to do, that you're interested in doing, this might be up your alley. The Hull E, I'm quite certain is damn expensive, like 500 or so. Oh, it's damn close. 550 for the Hull E. It's an interesting ship, I gotta say. So the Hull D, moving right along. In all honesty, basically it's just a slightly smaller Hull E. As you can see, it's got maybe like 1 or 2 less arms. Other than that, basically the exact same thing. Falls almost completely in line with what I was saying. Size 3, look, what did I say? Turret, size 3, size 4. hit the nail on the fucking head. So I bet you the rear weapon is probably size 4, and this is probably a size 3. Now, if you look right there, it looks like there's only, what, 1, 2, possibly 3, 4, maybe 5 turrets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 for the opposite side. Yeah. Yeah, because that's a turret. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where was the 5th one? 2, 3. Oh yeah, 4, 5. Somehow I missed the top one that was over here somewhere. I don't even see it. Oh, because it's covered by back there. And that's if these are turrets. But given that it's from MISC, hopefully the turrets are 4x size 4s or something like that. Because again, MISC is one of my favorite ship makers currently. So again, if you want to be king of cargo, again, or if you got an org that is focusing on transport and goods of that nature, again, the hull D might be up your alley, and the hull D, 350, so a little bit, less expensive, still fucking up there. But again, in my opinion, it is just my opinion. In terms of sheer numbers, I mean, you really can't go wrong with the Starfarer. I can't stop singing its praises. I apologize. I'm probably starting to annoy some of you. I will try to stop talking about it now. Keyword is try. So from there, right again, hull C. Again, basically a smaller version of the previous one, although this one I think doesn't have that end part. So this one, it's basically, oh no, I might be mistaken. Actually, I think that's at hull A. No, it didn't. I am just stupid. Concept art. Okay. Again, a little bit less space, but still king of cargo. Hull B, basically the same thing. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. So it would be like king, queen, prince, royal emissary, cousin. The hull A and B are significantly less in cargo capacity. I want to say, where is it? I really don't even know. I don't even think they really have metrics on it just yet. Just given the fact that they are still hammering this stuff out. If you want to go with like a more smaller one, see, look, this only has the singular connector there. Well, singular in the sense that there's only one string of them, if you want to call it that. So, if you want to do some, but possibly more cargo than a Caterpillar, or around the Caterpillar, give or take, I would have to guess, would be the hull B. Hull A is much smaller. This one, from my recollection, just tows behind it. You don't actually have the ability to, see, it's much, much smaller. I mean, you're still going to have a lot of cargo in comparison, but, well, really, there's no but. I mean, this one I'd say is a lot more affordable. Let's go find out how affordable. I know I'm kind of skipping over because they're all basically the same thing, but just a little smaller than the previous. So the hull B is 90. Is it really 90? That's it? I thought the hull A was like, how much is the hull A? I might pick up a hull A or a hull B. 60. That's it. Really? Oh, it's only 2 size 2s. That's kind of a killer, huh? And that's what I mean. It's like the Hull series, in my opinion, could have such. I mean, they've got such promise. I mean, although, let me walk this back a little bit. They are still in concept. They are still, being hammered out. So who knows? Maybe these are gonna be great. You know, I actually might pick up one of each, melt a couple things, and pick up one of each, or just pick them up because I mean, really, that's not bad. 60 and 90. Although the thing is, I've already got a caterpillar. I've already got starfarers. I've got 2 caterpillars actually, one of each, the base and the pirate. And I've got the Starfarer Gemini and the Starfarer. I mean, I'm good. I guess I really don't need these. Although, who said I needed any of them? All right, let's move right along. The Freelancer. So this one, in my opinion, is a sleeper ship. I think the Freelancer is actually one of the better ships in the $100 range. Let me tell you why. Freelancers are used as long-haul merchant ships by major corporations, but they are just as frequently repurposed as dedicated exploration vessels by independent captains who want to operate on the fringes of the galaxy. Short, sweet, to the point. Now, the Freelancer, these are all the old pictures of the Freelancer. It does not look like this any longer. If you've seen any of my videos, you'll know it's literally just basically silver. It looks a lot better than what this picture is currently, and you know, let me treat you to the trailer. What do you say?
A comm comes over the spectrum with a job. All it says is an amount of cargo, a delicate time.
Hold on a second. Are we not going to talk about this? No? Okay.
All it says is an amount of cargo, a delicate timetable, and a risky route. You know you've got 42 cubic meters to pack full of profit. We're talking pressurized and shock resistant.
Pressurized,
so
shock resistant.
In here comes out the same way. You got 2 Arc Duo 400 engines. Their award-winning colloid ion technology gives you maximum fuel efficiency while keeping your sig low. You come across a couple of pirates.
Freelancer, you know the drill.
But with a weapon system featuring trusted names like Bering and Cronin, you aren't too worried.
Boom goes the dynamite. Fairly accurate, by the way.
Commercial vessel, Freelancer class. Rig tags look good. Cleared for landing at Area 18.
So one of the ways you can tell this is the super old model, the entrance was still on the landing gear. Just wanted to point that out.
You're the one they come to when they need a job done right. Because you trust one ship. MISC Freelancer.
The Chrysler rims.
Built for life.
Built for tough. For life. Every time I see that commercial, I always think that, like, built Ford tough. For life. Just because the way they have that. So, again, that is actually fairly accurate. The Freelancer, also one of the better ships, in my opinion, for around the $100 range. Although, now with the Cutlass Black, with the rework out, that's... I don't know, it's kind of hard. Although, the Cutlass Black does have the 4 S3s. They're gimbal to size 2 Badgers. Whereas the Freelancer, now this bastard, okay, it doesn't show here, but, oh, look at that. Tactical, the ballistic can. Oh, yeah, what am I saying? So, by default, the base loadout for the Freelancer is actually 4 size 3 tarantula ballistic cannons, which, again, that's damn respectable. On my Freelancer, my normal Freelancer, I actually have 4 Mantis Gatlings on it because I just love that just seeing all that lead spray down. I mean, that thing is a fucking killer. I haven't been able, well, let me rephrase it. I haven't done that, outfitted it as such in the PU yet, or the PTU 3.0, because it's a little finicky the way things are set up just at the moment. So I'm kind of waiting for, and every time a new patch comes out, everything resets again. So I'm gonna wait till everything's live before I kind of start slapping weapons on stuff again, because I'm actually happy that they all went back to default, because I kept taking weapons off of one and switching it to another. Holy shit, I just realized I've been on like a 5-minute tangent. Let me get back to the thing that you guys came to the fucking video for. So basically, if you're looking for like a solo, I'd say light to medium cargo ship. Light in terms of the amount, light to medium in terms of the amount of cargo you'll be able to have, then the Freelancer actually might be for you. The fuel tanks are decent. The weapons are actually not bad. You get some size 3 and some size 4 missiles, which again, those especially in 3.0, the missiles are actually really decent. I'm regularly taking out NPCs with only 1 or 2, depending on the size. Like 2 and up, if I put a little bit of damage on them, boom, blows them right the fuck up. Sometimes even less, and it's actually really fucking cool. I really like it. The Freelancer is definitely, like I said, probably one of the better cargo ships for the $100 range. Although the Cutlass Black is also a very strong contender. And we will get to that in the following video, which I think is going to be Drake anyway, because I think that's the only one left. So, Freelancer, $110. Really can't go wrong. I mean, again, this thing has great firepower. And let me just verify that I'm not lying. 110 for the base Freelancer. Or the Cutlass Black is also 100. So that's like, ooh, it's kind of a tough decision. Yeah, I'll leave that decision up to you. Up next, excuse me, my God, we have the Freelancer Dur. So, the Freelancer Dur variant specializes in exploration, sacrificing some of the cargo capacity of the standard Freelancer for an enhanced jump drive, more advanced scanner, and expanded fuel tank may seem like a bad call to some, like me, but those who value discovery over profit will find it to be their ship of choice. So, you're cutting out some cargo, but better jump drive, better scanner, bigger fuel tanks, which right there is the thing to do, especially if you want to do exploration. Now, given the fact, now this is the dirt. This thing looks so funky, in my opinion, so I can't wait to see the rework of this, because this just looks weird. That's a really weird engine. It kind of reminds you of like Madonna's tits back in like the 80s. If you're old enough to know what I'm referencing, plus 50 points to you. So the Dur basically is the exploration version, and it actually looks like it comes with a lot more fucking missiles, if I'm reading this correctly. Like, holy shit. Utility items, scanner. But what's weird is it's got the same size fuel tanks, but I think they've got 2. Or 2 fuel intakes compared to the base Freelancer. Let's do a little compare and contrast. Alright, so M2, 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 M2. Oh, look at that. No, it's basically identical, except the Freelancer Dur looks to have 1 less turret. So it looks like this actually does not have the rear turret, according to this stats page, unlike the actual Freelancer, which does in fact. So here's the Dur, no rear turret. Here's the Freelancer. Right there, the M4As. So this just has the pilot weapons, but it does have the scanner, the advanced scanner, better jump drive, yada yada yada. So if you dig the Freelancer, but you want to do more exploration than freight, pick yourself up a DUR for 125. 125. Again, really can't go wrong for around the $100 range. You know, that's actually not too shabby if you ask me. Moving right along, Freelancer Max. The Freelancer Max variant is for those who prize increased cargo capacity over everything else. Combine that additional storage with MISC's unrivaled dependency and reputation, and you can see why the Max is the preferred transport for many independent haulers in Empire today. That's kind of a weird way to put it. In Empire, not the Empire. So basically, just like the last one's basically the same, except, god damn, look at the size of that engine, huh? Look at it. Look at that. Oh, yeah, it looks like it's like, man, it looks like an what do you call that? A mime. No. I don't know what I was saying there. This engine does not look amused. So not only are they bigger, but it looks like there's actually two instead of a singular engine there. So this is the Max, as the name implies, has max cargo space. It looks like the engines are pretty beefed up as well. Excuse me. And then this one looks like it does have that rear turret, which would make sense considering if it's cargo, you're gonna want to have the what do you call it? You want that there. Looks like a little bit bigger missiles, or a little bit more, I should say. I'm still trying to read this shit. I don't get it. So size 2 missile size. The rack is 4, and there's 4 on there. So there's 4 size 2s. Wow. So 4 size 2s, because that's 2 size 3. 2. I don't fucking know. I'm still trying to decipher this. I feel like an R-tard because I really don't. Anyway, all right, moving the fuck on. So the Max is, like I said, the cargo focused Freelancer variant. So again, if you want to do cargo and you're not looking to spend a whole lot, but you want it to be able to defend itself and still be able to get up and go and get the fuck out there, Max might be up your alley. And the Max 140. So now we're starting to go up a little bit in price. Now for 140, you could also get yourself a Hornet Tracker. For $10 more, you can get a Taurus. From my understanding, the Taurus is going to have more space, way more space. So really, if you are looking at the Max, the Constellation Taurus from RSI is another decent ship to look at. Now, you might be saying, well, if the Taurus has more space, why would I go with the Max? It doesn't make sense. Well, actually, no. It does make sense because the Freelancer Max is going to have way more agility. It's going to be way more agile. And again, the 4 size 4 weapons, 4 size 3 weapons, are going to give you that ability to hit hard, move fast, get in, get out. You know, the Taurus, yeah, it's got size, what are they, 4s? 4 size 4s, so it's only one size up. They're laser repeaters, not ballistics. Less maneuverability, less agility. Yeah, you get more space. But what good is space if you're being attacked and get, you know, your ass kicked and blown up because you didn't move fast enough? Although in conjunction, what's the point of having cargo if you don't make enough to actually turn a profit? You know, so that's something kind of have to weigh out and think. You know, what do you think you'll be more apt to do? You know, if you're looking at the Max, I can't help but say you also got to look at the Taurus, given the fact it's only $10 more and it's going to do more cargo. So just putting it out there, again, Freelancer Max, the cargo-focused Freelancer variant, $140. I think it's a little high. Moving right along, the Freelancer MIS. Okay, full disclosure, I've got a thing for militarized ships. Okay, so if this loads, so basically the Freelancer MIS, since it's not loading up just yet. Oh, there we go. Never mind. The Freelancer MIS is a limited edition militarized variant of the classic mercantile ship developed by the UEE. These were produced in very small quantity due to some early payload incidents. Wonk, wonk. This version sacrifices the majority of the cargo capacity to make way for missiles. That's right, missiles. So tasty. So, I own a MIS. I had to because this thing is fucking awesome. Like I said, I love the militarized ships. This thing has so many missiles on it. It's also, from my understanding, got missile repeaters up here. Like this raises up. Let me see, is there a picture of it? No. So in the hangar ready model, these are actually there's a word I'm trying to think. Risen up, deployed. I don't know. I'll think of it when I'm already done with this better. So these are already activated, and inside the back here, there's like this. It looks almost like a conveyor belt that leads up to it. And from my understanding, you're going to be able to like auto reload from here. I think. Not to mention you've got buku missiles on the wings. Still have that rear turret, I believe. Oh, it doesn't look like it now. I take it back. Maybe it doesn't have that rear turret. That's really weird for a missile ship. But 16 size 2s plus, what's that, 4 size 4s? Yeah. So this thing is going to bring the pain. For its size, that's nuts. This thing is going to be, you know, a destroyer in the verse. And that's one of the reasons why I got this. Now, conversely, the thing I have to say is this thing is going to be an expensive ship just to reload those missiles alone. So, I mean, this is something that you're going to probably use more against, maybe someone who's been griefing you, or if there's maybe like, if they do community events where it's like a Vandal attack in a certain area where you'd want to swoop in, maybe with like the Vanguards, or with other support type ships, so that way you can kind of go in there and try to, soften up hard targets or what have you. I don't think the MIS is going to be good for everyday, errands, if you will, running just regular daily missions. I think that's the wrong application for this ship. I feel that this, even though it is a freelancer, it's the militarized one, but still I feel like it's a little bit more niche. This is when you need that firepower, that payload, but you need to kind of squeeze it into a smaller area, go through maybe the smaller jump points that maybe like a tally can't go through. I could see this paired up with a gladiator and being able to really put some hurt down. Maybe a couple of super hornets or something in the flanks. I think that would be a devastating combination. Hell, you throw a couple of these together with a Starfarer Gemini. Woo! Oh boy, you're going to be clearing some shit out. And again, all medium down the line. So you're not really missing much. Wow, I'm dumb. The fucking legend was right here the whole time. Tunnel vision. And look, there's no holo viewer for it yet. They're still working on it. I'm pretty sure it's still in concept. Yeah, it's like still in white box, if I'm not mistaken. 165 for the Freelancer MIS. And again, if you like the bomber missile boats, this might be up your alley. But again, with those types of ships, they're going to be expensive to rearm. So keep that in mind, especially if they stick with the ballistics. Bullets ain't cheap, and you'd be surprised how fast you run through them, especially if there's multiple targets that you're engaging. I know some of you are already saying that you don't trust me, but yeah, Freelancer MIS 160. Moving right along, Starfarer Gemini. Now, once again, this is where it gets fucking confusing because even though it's the MISC Starfarer Gemini, technically it's in lore, it's made by Aegis. And when Aegis' sale went live, some of you some of the more savvy of you may have noticed that the Starfarer Gemini was up for sale as well, and some people thought it was a mistake, but it's not because this is actually made technically by Aegis, but they just borrowed the body from MISC. So, my baby, my favorite. I'm gonna say it anyway because it was in the list when I went to manufacturers. I just have MISC, so blame CIG for me doing this one, not me. The Starfarer Gemini. The UEE military uses an adapted, rough-and-tumble Gemini variant of the Starfarer for the frontline operations, trading some cargo capacity and maneuverability for reinforced armor, increased shielding, more powerful engines, and stronger manned turrets. Gemini also includes an optional missile pod, which can be swapped for the fuel intake unit on either Starfarer variant's nose. The listed cargo capacity is only for the dedicated cargo room and does not account for the extra space available from the bulk cargo pods. I don't know why I just did that macho voice. I felt the need. Don't judge me. So the Gemini, fucking awesome. Again, in my opinion, I think this is kind of the better variant in terms of firepower and defense. In terms of money making, hands down, the base Starfarer. Like I said a little bit earlier, Starfarer Gemini, 340. Bigger weapons, bigger turrets, missiles, better engines, better armor, better shielding, better color scheme, just better in general. Again, favorite ship. I really can't say enough. And especially considering it's been confirmed that these pods can be swapped for dry, regular cargo, as well as the nose that holds the missiles. Oh, that's kind of weird looking. But the part on the Gemini that holds the missiles can, in fact, be swapped out for the fuel intake, which means you can thus still pull fuel, refine it, and sell it. So again, the Gemini is still a great choice if you want to make money, as well as if you're more of the combative type, or if you want to have more defensive capabilities. The Gemini actually might be up your alley. And for 340, like I said, I mean, that's expensive, but you're getting a lot of ship for that price. I mean, this thing has, what, 3 floors? You got the cargo first floor, you've got the second floor that has the deck, you have the third floor that has where the turrets are, and the elevators, and the engine room. And then you've got actually the fourth deck, which is the top deck, which is where the cafeteria is, the crew room, the captain's room, the turret access. This ship is ballin'. Straight up ballin'. And again, with having size, what was it, 4 size 4s, 2 size 4s on the main turret of the Gemini, and then here's where it gets badass. Both rear-facing turrets on the Gemini have dual size 3s, whereas the turrets on the base Starfarer are size 2s, size 3, and size 4. So on the Gemini, it's size 4, size 4, size 3s. Regular one, size 2s, size 3, size 4. And then again, the Gemini, better armor, better shielding, better engines, just better, looks better, better paint, again, better. Only thing that kind of sucks is this Gemini doesn't have the cool space blanket. It's just a regular brown one. Nah. Bland UEE blanket. 340, net yourself a Starfarer Gemini, and it's awesome. I think it's worth it, in my opinion. Moving right along, the Reliant Core. Now, I hate this ship. Let me just preface this next portion by saying I am not a fan of this ship. I liked the concept of it at first, but then when it came in, this thing is garbaggio. Molto bene garbaggio. Very good garbage. That made no sense. Alright, the Reliant Core. The Reliant Core, MISC adds to its already impressive lineup of ships, a smaller introductory class spacecraft. Utilizing advanced Xi'an designs, the Reliant features broad, sleek wings, omnidirectional thrusters, and a fully articulated two-seat cockpit that supports horizontal and vertical flight modes. All of this combines with a larger carrying capacity than many ships in its class to make the Core a natural choice for short-range hauling. Key fucking term, short range. Or, with the simple addition of a few optional components, this can-do ship can do anything you dream of. Now, that is a fucking lie. I'm not a fan of this ship. So, the idea was interesting. If you're not aware, so this is what it looks like when it's landed, obviously. But when it goes into flight mode, it goes vertical. So landed and then flight. So that I don't like the size. I don't like that it does this. I think that's goddamn ridiculous in my opinion. Not a big fan of it. It's got garbage weapons from my recollection. Yeah, size 1 and I think an open size 3 slot. But look at 1 M3A laser cannon. Well, 2, because there's the 2 mounts. But an M3A, what are you going to do with 2 size 1s? Get laughed at. That's what. No missiles. Yeah, it's got a tractor beam. That's cool, but you know what else has a tractor beam? The fucking 315P, which is less expensive than this, and in my opinion better than this ship. And okay, yeah, you don't do cargo, but I wouldn't put cargo on one of these things. Again, that's just me. I don't like this ship. I don't like this version. I love MISC. I love most of their ships. I don't like the Reliant. $85. For what you get for $85, I feel you're kind of getting ripped off. That's just me. I'm sure there are some out there who would disagree and think that this is actually a decent starter ship and it's pretty good. I would argue to the contrary. I feel like this had such promise and it had such like it. I don't know. I just don't like it. I really can't point out anything in particular. I really don't like it. I don't know what it is. Just not a fan. It's slow. It's weak. It's brittle. The only thing, in my opinion, that's redeeming and somewhat cool about it is that it changes shape like that. But that's it. In my opinion, that's it. And you kind of need more than just, oh, it turns. It turns. That's it. I don't know. $85 would get you one if that's something that you're into. Moving right along. The Endeavor. Now, why isn't this available? Oh, that's right, because it's not. I'm fucking dumb. Okay, the Endeavor. Musashi Industrial and Starlight Concern is proud to present the Endeavor-class research vessel, a fully modular space platform designed to be adapted for a variety of scientific and medical tasks. Initially developed as a floating laboratory, the MISC Endeavor can be outfitted for everything from spatial telescopy to use as mobile hospital. Again, I feel like there's some grammar missing here. To be used as a mobile hospital. Okay, let me feel a little better. Now, the Endeavor. Ho ho ho. There's a lot to say about the Endeavor. This thing can do a little bit of everything. So this is the main command module, which not breaks, but it can disconnect from the rest of the ship while this other section does its thing, and you can go land, you can go, planet side, go pick up some groceries, things of that nature. There's a bunch of different modules or add-ons. What was the word for it? attachments. If you buy the master set, it comes with all of them. Which this one, I just saw it said master set. I thought, am I just stoned? I really thought I saw a master set somewhere. So anyway, with this one, this has the super collider. So the super collider, if I recall, I think is for science and overclocking. So by overclocking, you can kind of push the limits of the hardware of the different systems that you have on board. You can make them go a little bit better. Actually, no, I think the super collider is actually more for just science stuff. Let me walk that back a little bit. The telescope array, again, is kind of more for like research development. Let's see if this has anything on it. Nope, nothing useful. So basically, this is the main command module, and then this part right here is kind of where the add-ons would then snap onto, depending on what you outfitted it with. They do have, here we go, so the telescope array, which is going to be more science. Then there is the super collider, which I believe is, I'm fairly certain this is for the overclocking, because I remember hearing about it being like, what the fuck does that have to do with overclocking? It makes no sense. So I'm fairly certain that was what the particle collider was. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, and I will try to make a correction. Then there's the there's the supply pod, there's the research pod, there's the farming agriculture mod, there's the hangar bay. So there's a Cutlass Red in there right here. So you'd be able to effectively turn this into like a hospital, because you also have this hospital pod. So you get the hospital pod attached to the side, and then you get the hangar landing bay, and I believe it goes right in this area for the hangar bay. So you'd be able to put a Cutlass Red inside of it and basically have a traveling hospital, be able to charge fees for people to respawn in. Or if you had, I know there's like a research, yeah, so the research pod, you'd be able to, I believe, make drugs, like straight drugs, like, hey, you want to buy some cocaine? Like, drugs, like real drugs. Again, the agriculture. So some people were like, oh, what the fuck, why are you growing crops in space when there's planets? Well, because some rare materials or rare plants need different types of radiation and gravity and this and that's what this pod is for. So you can grow those ultra rare materials and plants and sell them and make buku bucks just because you're, floating in the right place for the right amount of time with the right seeds in the ground or whatever, vines or whatever crazy shit they dream up, which I'm excited to see. So the Endeavor is kind of a really good, I would say, jack of all trades kind of. You get yourself the master set. You're able to do all sorts of the auxiliary itinerary, if you will. Just some more shots here of this separating. So the command module, if you will, kind of like the cat, separating from the remainder of it. So, if you had science experiments or growing shit, that would still be going on while you go off and, fuck around with your friends elsewhere. Again, another picture of it separating or already separated. Here's a top side and I think bottom view. Oh, top side, front, and rear. So again, this is no small ship. Again, so I would say right here is probably about waist high. So a human would probably be about this tall. So now take that into consideration when you're looking at, look how small that looks now. Oops. That's going to be a big ship. It's not going to be well armed. You got one turret in the front, looks like one turret in the back. Let's go to the actual specs. But the cockpit looks cool. That's very Star Trek-y, kind of. I like that. Again, so science setup with the super collider, like I said, with the science on there. Science! And then, so back to the Olympic class, which is the agriculture. So, yep, 2 size 5 turrets. Oh, 2 per mount. Only 1 mount. Oh, so actually this only has 1 turret, right? Am I reading that correctly? Per mount, 2 per mount, 1 mount, size 5. So 2 size 5s. Now, depending on where that turret is really, in my opinion, going to determine its capabilities. Because if it's just 2 size 5s here, alright, you'll be able to kind of defend yourself a little bit. But the rear of your ship is fucked. Because you are not going to have the mobility to be able to swing that bitch around. The Endeavor is up there, if I'm not mistaken. 350 for the base Endeavor. Now, that's basically literally just the ship. I don't believe that comes with any of the modules. So, to get the Master one is going to be expensive. I don't even see the Master set on here. So, how you would get those modules, I guess we're going to have to wait until tomorrow, the 30th, when that sale goes live. Hopefully they'll actually sell those modules, because I haven't seen them on sale basically since this was first concepted way back. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I haven't seen them up since. So again, $350 for the Endeavor, if that's something you want to do. Be able to, grow crops, do science, have a hospital, have a landing bay, make and do drugs. Who knows? Whatever you want to do, the Endeavor might be your ship. So, the Reliant Mako. Empire depends on up to the second information, which is why reporters need to be able to go where the news is happening, wherever, whenever. Enter the Mako. All the flexibility and dependability of MISC Reliant combined with a state-of-the-art image enhancement suite and turret-mounted optics to capture every moment as it happens with the clarity and accuracy that makes headlines. So the Mako literally is a news van. Basically, you got your pilots, and then it looks like the person that's going to be sitting back here, I would guesstimate, would be the one controlling the turret-mounted cameras. Yeah, I know, that sounds weird, doesn't it? So these turrets, where the actual turrets would be, is actually where cameras are. So think, when races become a thing, the Crooks Cup, Murray Cup, this is going to be able to take advantage of that render-to-texture tech that's on its way, or partially implemented so far. So, as you can tell, completely defenseless from my recollection. Oh, maybe not. So 2 size 1s and a size 3 slot. I'd have to guess, though, those would probably be filled with maybe more camera gear. I'm surprised it actually has weapons, I'm not going to lie. Granted, yeah, they're only 2 size 1s, so again, you're basically got pea shooters. Got the optical array, only 1. So I'm wondering what that is. That might be the... Actually, does it show the optical? No. Let me see. Yeah, so here we go. This is the rotatable turret. As you can see, it's just a camera. That's about it. I mean, it's a camera. It's a news van, as it was called way back. The Reliant Mako news van. Now, it's reporting instead of news van. Basically the same fucking thing. The Reliant Mako, I'm fairly certain, is I just saw it. 85 as well. Again, for what this is, I think this is a bad decision. Although, if you want to be a news reporter, then by all means, this is the ship for you. But defenseless, completely defenseless. So next up, we got the Reliant Sen. Magellan, Pierce, Croshaw, names that echo through history thanks to their adventurous spirit, a curious nature, and a reliable ship. The Reliant Sen is a versatile mobile science platform outfitted with long-range capabilities to take you further, longer, and an advanced sensor suite. Perfect for the aspiring explorer who wants to whisper their name into the halls of history. That's all, that's poetic, but again, I'm not impressed. I'm not a fan. In fact, it even looks like instead of guns, it's got scanners, or instead of cameras, it's scanners. And again, 2 size 1s, so this thing is basically defenseless. Again, the 315p I think would be a better Explorer than this. Even the 300, because at least you're going in quote style. Because this thing is just kind of bullshit in my opinion. There's really, I don't know what to say. I'm not a fan of the Reliant series. I think they kind of missed an opportunity. It could have been way better. And it's weird because this is actually a sideways shot. Like, this is the up and down, and this is the side to side. Like, this is north, south, east, west. So tilt your head slightly, and pilot's head's here, co-pilot's head's here. Here, and then the body, legs, head, body, legs. So I feel like they really missed a big opportunity with that ship. Everything is small on it. So again, I don't know how you can call this an Explorer ship when everything is small. This thing's going to run out of fuel. And the sound I think is 75. Yep, 75. Again, I don't think this is worth your money. I really don't. Moving on. The Reliant Tana. Tana? Katana? I think it's Tana because of Katana. And I'll tell you why. With humanity ever expanding through the universe, the need for a versatile, lightweight fighter has expanded with it. Easy to maintain with a rugged construction, the Reliant Tana makes for an ideal choice for frontier and outpost defense thanks to its custom high-yield power plant, stronger shields, and additional weapon mounts. Now, again, this is still in concept. It's not released. But this one, I think, has potential. Now, as you can see from the interior look here, it looks like you got your EVA suit storage. I think it showed the other side. So again, look. So here's the head and legs. Head, body, legs. This goes up. The engine stays sideways. And that's how that goes. I think it's got a really big, really weird cross-section. Not a huge fan. But on the Skirmisher, it looks like you actually have a bathroom for some reason instead of in the Explorer. Your beds, again, instead of the Explorer, and then whatever the fuck this is. So you got your weapon rack here. For some reason, you have a camera back here. Again, it only holds 2 people. What do you need a 3rd slot for? Fuck if I know. I don't like this look. They really could have done better. Hopefully they will do better. This one at least has missiles. I believe this one... Okay, good. So it does have some size 3s. 2 size 3 mounts. 2 size 1s. Again, pea shooters. Has potential. I'm not holding my breath. The Reliant Tana is... It can't be this much. Nobody would pay that much. I wouldn't pay that much. 65. Now go figure. The one that has the most potential is the cheapest one. So if you like the look of the Reliant and how it's the opposite of how most ships are, and you want the fighter, the Tana might be for you, and it's only $65. Wait, core Tana, yeah. There you go, 65. Don't get the core. Just don't. Next up, the Prospector. Recently introduced in 3.0, recently flyable in 3.0, I should say. For years, the Prospector has been the universe's preferred mining vessel for solo operators. Featuring MISC's sleek design, sensibility, and a bevy of upgraded high-tech mining tools, the 2947 2017 Prospector perfectly balances form and functionality. The Prospector can store 128 SCU of mined resources in its dedicated mining cargo pods. These cannot be used for regular cargo, so the cargo capacity value is listed as 0 SCU. So, as it says, this thing cannot hold cargo, unlike most MISC ships. It is a mining ship, which is really cool. It's the first mining ship that is flyable. This is where the materials are stored. Obviously, this is the mining laser. The way that it works is the laser goes down. There's a tractor beam that basically sucks things up through the little tube, the tubing, and gets filtered in. Now, mining is not live in 3.0 just yet. Probably won't be live until maybe closer to 3.1, maybe a little bit further down the line. But no harm in getting a jump on the ship. That way you get a good understanding of how it handles, what it looks like, its capabilities, its detriments, what it can and cannot do. And if I do say so myself, this has probably one of the best cockpit views. I mean, almost completely unobstructed. You have such a wide viewing area. Your field of view is massive. Absolutely massive. I mean, look, that's just all window. Just all window. I mean, again, just look at it. Just all fucking window. Got a bathroom, your bed, there's some area for, different avionics and pieces of the ship. I can't think of the goddamn word for it. Components. That's what I was trying to say for the longest time. Fucking components. And yeah, and this thing kind of handles like a brick, though, especially in atmosphere. I've flown it for maybe like all of 5 minutes, and it was a little unruly. Granted, that was at the advent when 3.0 PTU first arose. There's been a couple of patches subsequently, as you can see. So hopefully it's better. I haven't actually jumped into the new patch just yet. It just finished downloading. So I will report back once I'm finished. If I recall, the Prospector I think is 140. Bing, 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 140. So if you want to look into mining, or if you want to try your hand at it, the Prospector I think is probably the perfect introductory ship to do so. Last but not least, the MISC Razor. MISC makes a bid for the next Murray Cup with the all-new Razor. This advanced racer features an advanced composite space frame that puts pure speed ahead of everything else. It's the ship for pilots who want to leave the competition in the dust. Now, the Razor. It is in concept. It is not available, although it looks strikingly suspiciously like the M50 in my opinion. Just blue. I would have to bet it probably has the exact same durability as the M50, which, if you are not aware, is basically a wet napkin in a hurricane. Barely any at all. I mean, it does look aerodynamic. It does look like it would be great for racing. Surprisingly, it looks like it has 2 size 2s. So it's actually better outfitted weapon-wise than the M50. So, and it's got missiles. What's that, 2 size 1s? Yeah. So actually, this might be better than the M50. Not much better, but still better. Interior kind of reminds me of the 85X, personally. While the exterior really reminds me of the M50. Like, that is very M50, in my opinion. You know, if you just had the 2 engines back here and it was red, basically an M50. The MISC Razor is one... I know it's not that much. Where is it? 135 versus the M50 at 100. Yeah, 100, and the 350R is 125. So if you're looking for a dedicated racer, the Razor might be up your alley. Hopefully, it'll be better than the M50 and the 350R. definitely has better weapons than the M50. 350R has two size 2s, but they are static. So if you wanted to gimbal them, they'd be size 1s. But it does have a size 3 mount in front. Razor just seems to have those size 2s only. And the M50 obviously only has size 1s. So again, 135 for the Razor. And everything on it is small. So really the only thing it's good for is racing. And then down here you see the other racing ships for comparison, minus the Omega, as the this was more of a special, super limited thing. But there's the Gamma, M15, the 350R, and the Razor. So with that, that is actually the end of the MISC ships. Did you like this video? If you did, please leave a like down below. I greatly appreciate it, and that definitely tells me, to continue with the series, or if I should abandon it like a redheaded stepchild. I am planning on doing the Drake Interplanetary for the next one, and then really that's all of the anniversary ship sales. Can you believe it? We're almost at the end of the anniversary ship sale already, and it's been interesting. Some limited ships have come up and didn't appear very limited. So I don't know if that was an oversight from all the excitement and all the stuff going on, but I've definitely taken advantage and grabbed one or two of those ships. Yeah, and that's basically the end for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. All you beautiful bastards out there, you have yourselves a wonderful day. This has been Will. Peace.